Are we live? I think so. Hello, everyone. I think that should be fine. That sounds like everything's up. Let me just get everything loaded up and check audio. Get everything loaded up and check audio. Okay, that sounds fine. Uh, yes. Hello, everyone. Nice to see you all again. We are back with some more Arknights reaction because there is so much to react to. God. But yeah, we're going through the contingency contracts this time. Just waiting for everything to load. Hopefully, stream elements will come in sooner this time. But while I wait, I will first put up chat because I keep forgetting to do that and I keep forgetting what people are saying. There we are. Now it's like the perfect time to react to the contingency contract since number 12 dropped. Yeah. I saw that. I'm like, oh, this is perfect timing. Will you watch what the CC maps are like? Interesting question. I didn't really think about that. I might take a look into it though. So hello, Daniel. CC12 was added to the list before. Yee. Oh, hello, Mr. Bro. Ooh, interesting. No, I'd say give it a shot. Yeah, let me just get links in. I completely forgot to do that. Max risks are a pain. Considering that I couldn't even get to risk 8 during number 11, yeah, I can certainly see. But yeah, so apparently Contingency Contract 12 is the last one. I find that quite interesting. I figured it would just be a regular thing that keeps happening, but I guess there's a beginning and an end to it, which is definitely an interesting concept. All right, while that's loading up, let me just put these in. Griff once again earned my respect with the cool thing that they did. Oh, interesting. I'll definitely. I mean, I should be taking a look at that. They mentioned that they want to rework the game mode. Oh, I see. So it's like the. So it's kind of like it's like the last of this current version of it. Then I guess it could be. So the next time there is a contingency contract, it will basically be something completely different, or well, just something different, I guess. They want to prove it in a way. Interesting. Okay, let me just tweet that and promote myself in Cat's chat because that's always a good thing. Okay, I think we have dilly-dallied enough and Stream Elements is now in, which is always a good thing. Will you hear the CC battle theme? Good problem is, what do you improve in the first place? I know, right? I mean, I kind of figured it was basically it's just a staple right to begin with. I'm not sure at the moment. I might be leaving battle themes to a separate reaction because I will be reacting to things like boss themes and such in the future. So I'm not too sure at the moment. Hello, Kagera. Okay, I'd say we have wasted enough time, so I will go right into it. Let me just pop that up. There we go. That's now showing. So we're starting off with what appears to be Contingency Contract 0. So I'm assuming there was like a pre like a a prologue, so to speak, like a what was it, like a beta version or something? Or is it just to be honest, some challenges in CCO were harder for me than doing Risk 18. True. CC beta. Okay, interesting. Although this one looks like it's going to be a chonky boy. It's 8 minutes long. I wonder what this one's going to be like. Although, of course, I imagine like a lot of the music in Arknights, it will be 8 minutes long, but then it will feel like a second has gone past and you want more. There was a beta and after that 0 to 12. Okay. Well, I suppose probably shouldn't be too. I probably shouldn't be too surprised considering it's like what episode 0 is the start of the storyline. So I guess a lot of things start at 0. But let's see. Okay, apparently this one loops a lot. Okay, I see. Beta was a test. They weren't sure if it was going to work. Well, I'd say they definitely did a success then. Oh, I quite like this music. It gives me like it kind of gives me a more old school action game vibe. For this one, you can just hear the first few minutes. Okay. I'll probably swap over if I notice the loop. Actually, the strings in the background give me Mass Effect vibes. Three AM made it worth it though. Well, hello and welcome in. That is a ridiculous time. Hello, Vagrant. Ooh, I like how this sounds though. It's definitely a lot more chill there compared to the other ones. Or at least the ones that I listen to in the concert. I like how this one is really calm. But it does give me that sort of more classic action vibe. Like, again, like it to an extent, it does kind of remind me a bit of the Mass Effect series. I think that's because there's a few more... I suppose Mass Effect has quite a few of that sort of uplifting, but quite sci-fi-esque. It's definitely very lobby-esque. Like it reminds me a bit of so yeah, there's Mass Effect, but also makes me think of Stellaris. Basically, a lot of the music you listen to while you're doing stuff, sort of like very micromanagey, which I guess makes sense because yeah, lobby. It's a lobby. It's what you're listening to while preparing everything. This is played during off-season, I believe. Interesting. I actually haven't played the contingency contract on the computer. I've only done it on my phone, which I have muted. So I've never actually listened to the contingency contract music while doing the contingency contract off season. Also, hello Free Melons, I am doing well. How are you doing? I'd say this has definitely looped around quite a few bit. You missed a lot. Wow, yeah, I basically came in at contingency 11, and that was basically it. Well, bear in mind, I don't really... The stuff that I do when muted is only really like the repeat stuff. You know, things that I've already done, basic grinding things. So I'm not really missing... CC11 is not EN yet. Oh, 10 is the one that I did. Ignore me. Yeah, 10. Yeah, 10 was the one that came around a little bit earlier that we did. Came right before CC10. Yes, that's right. Oh god, that fucking cannon. I hated the artillery. It was so annoying. Yeah, it's definitely been looping, yeah. This is like the 5th one now. So I think I'm going to move on to the next one, which here seems to be Operation Pyrite. Alright, this song. This was in the concert, I think. Also, thank you for the follow, God of. You heard this one, yes. Is it gonna be lobby themes only or also battle ones? This is gonna be lobby. That's CC1. Yeah, I know. I love that it just goes into harder stuff. Oh. There is also that very distorted, I'm not sure if that's techno or dub, but so I'm hoping the audio is not too bad. Can Karma sing? No, Karma most certainly cannot sing. Yeah, that very aggressive techno beat in the background. Oh. the ground. Yeah, this was one of my favourite songs in the concert. Oh man, it's over. God, yeah, it was definitely one of my favorite songs when listening to the concert. It's an absolute bop. And this one's Operation Blade. CC0. I need to look it up because it's not here. Or rather, the video that I was watching was called CC0. Oh. The thing about this kind of song is it reminds me of songs like Glitter and Gold, or like songs by, what is it, John Bon Jovi, but like when he does some more cowboy stuff later on. Like, it's just something about it. Like, it does give me a bit of like an outlawish vibe. Oh. There's this one thing I really like, the chorus in the background, the ooh. Oh, that guitar there. Oh, that's a really nice. Wow, that was a really good one. God, that guitar riff towards the end, they really popped off just there. It was like, oh yeah, the song's about to end. Let me just go all in with the guitar. Also, I think I might have just peaked my microphone. Let me just drop the audio down just by little bits. There we go. Okay, so before I continue with the playlist, so what is the name of the CC0 then? If the CC0 that I listened to wasn't actually CC0. Barren Land, okay. Barren Land. Operation Barren Land. Well, I've got the trailer for it. Let me see. I've got, what is it? W and W soundtrack mix seems to be the only option that's longer than 1 minute. I think. Okay, I'll go with that. W and W is the song from the PV for CC0. Okay. It seems to be the only thing that's... copy link address. This seems to be the only one that really pops up, so... Uh, apparently this is it. No, that's... No, come on. No. Did I just hear what... Let's run that back. Well... there goes the copyright-free stream, but oh well, we're committing. Please tell me this... Is this really it? I refuse. I'm being memed here, surely. Lobby themes are copyright free. It depends on how well YouTube does it. It can listen to this and say, oh no, that's the other song. Oh yeah, it's usually a problem. It's just unfortunately I don't have any way of countering it. Damn, it's a good song though. Oh yeah, it's like full on club hype. I could play this in a nightclub and they won't even realize it's game music, literally. I can't believe it was like 10 seconds in and it was Coffin Dance. At the time, Coffin Dance was appropriate. CC Beta was one of the hardest content. Interesting. Ian didn't get this one, unfortunately. I see. Ooh, interesting. Using human vocals as a instrument or as like a techno thing. B-Moy, the battle music, boss music, and some of those other ones will be done in a separate stream. Well, now I'm just really curious as to... Let me just go back. Now I'm just really curious as to whether or not there's a meme in the Arknights community, which is basically the Coffin Dance meme, but using that song instead of the actual Coffin Dance song. Though they likely copyrighted it since it plagiarized content, but I would highly recommend listening to them once off stream. Oh, by the way, if you want to hear the original CC3 songs... Oh, I see. Interesting. Well, that was definitely an interesting song. I got like mental whiplash the moment I heard the the bits of Coffin Dance. That definitely definitely wasn't expected. I was not expecting that to happen. That was that was quite curious. It was just like 10 seconds in. It's like, okay, this is quiet. This is quite nice. This is quite chill. And then it was just do. What? It was funny. But anyway, so the next one though is CC3 Operation Cinder. Oh, I like the sound of this one. Curious. More in the world of epic music at the moment. Almost siren-like. Oh, something's gonna drop. Or not. This keeps going in. It does feel like there's something sinister lying in the background. Like I keep saying, it's very siren-like. It's one of those things where it's like, it's beautiful, but it feels like there's gonna be something wrong the closer you get in. Yeah, there is something.
Keep it up, keep it up. Don't give up, don't give up. Keep it up, keep it up. Don't give up, don't give up. Keep it up, keep it up. Never give
It's so peaceful, but it really does give me quite sinister undertones. This song was supposed to have been used for Arknights memoirs. Oh, okay, interesting. This CC was all about sarcasm. You decide if it's creepy or peaceful. Interesting. It does have a sinister undertone, I can feel it now. Yeah, I mean, it's weird, like, it is a very beautiful song, but I would say it's less angelic and more siren-like. It's one of those ones where it's beautiful, but it seems somewhat... Yeah. Interesting. It was... I definitely... I do really like that. I do really like it. It's definitely... It doesn't hit as hard as some of the other ones, but it's really nice. It is quite peaceful, but again, like, it does make me feel like it... if it's angelic, it's angelic if the angel is from Evangelion. Sort of, yeah. I mean, I was also thinking of you know, Doom Eternal, specifically when you go to what is supposed to be quote unquote heaven, and that weird sort of beautiful but very alieny sort of music. That is kind of what it the vibes that the song gave me. Not as alien as the that heaven location in Doom, but there's heaven in Doom. If you play Doom Eternal, the area of what are supposed to be angels, that's... I can't remember what it's actually called, but I always refer to it as heaven because that's basically what it's supposed to be. but it has a very beautiful but sinister music. And in this one, I wouldn't say it's as alien sounding, but it does have that sort of, yeah, it has that sort of siren vibe. It's like beautiful, but perhaps you shouldn't get too close to the source of the song. Urdak. Yes, Urdak is the name of the Doom Heaven. Be not afraid. Speaking of Gerboss, how's the event going? I haven't done the event yet. actually haven't. I updated the game and I haven't opened it yet. I've been too busy with work. I definitely plan on playing it after stream though. Siren traps. Yeah, basically. Speaking of Operation Lead Seal, interesting. I'm ass- I'm assuming there's not going to be any kisses from roses here though. By the way, did you get the ethically questionable mouse girl yet? I haven't pulled for her yet. I don't really have the resources to. And I'm kind of debating whether or not I should just save for the next banner or, um, you know, try to spend. I don't know at the moment. I'll have to look up to see if playstyle fits mine. Anyway, so yes, the next one. Save for Texas Alter. Yeah, that's kind of what I've been thinking of. Bit of whistling. Kind of not so much anymore. I was about to say, like, with the whistling, it made me think of what's it called? Like Wild West. The whistling made me think of like Wild West sort of stuff. By the way, Kami, you really should work on progressing your annihilations. Yeah, I've got 400 on one of the maps, and I just keep on farming that one every week. Rammstein? Oh yeah, there is that one Rammstein song that has the whistling at the start, doesn't it? The more you get to 400, the more you're... Oh, really? Oh, I need to do more of them then. I didn't realise it increased the weekly cap. I just assumed that's what they were stopping you at. Max weekly cap is 1800. Oh, okay, interesting. So it starts at 1200 and it goes to 1800. Okay. I like her voice. Kind of has a sort of a popish feel to this one. Mudrock is truly built like a champion, yeah. Mudrock did put a scratch in. Oh, is that it? Oh. Oh, man. I quite liked that one. I did like it. It was a bit more poppy than I'm usually fond of, but I did really like it. It was nice beat. Definitely something you could easily listen to on repeat while doing stuff. Definitely interesting one. It's a quite nice, easy to listen to sort of song. Again, quite poppy. Does make me think of some of the more modern pop sort of pop rap kind of thing. It's quite interesting. Basically the cap is 1800 because you get 1200 from dailies and weeklies, meaning 6000 every 2 weeks. Okay, interesting. Yeah, so the next one is Operation Spectrum. Let's see. Okay, I see what people mean by Daft Punk. Oh, fairly sort of old school techno. This is the Poland placemat. Okay. That makes sense, actually. This does make me think of that sort of hyper... hyper corporate sort of area. This really have the commercial competition yet. Imagine if this was... Honestly, yeah. Basically, if someone did a Dota song, but for what is literally blood sports. Okay, old school record scratch. Well, I don't think it was an actual record scratch. I think it was synthesized, but still. This, in a way, this also makes me think of, like, you know, those really fast-paced shooter games, like, oh, what's that one with the Halo but with portals? What's that called? I can't think of the name at the moment. Like, it makes you think of those sorts of games. Like, you know, the very fast-pacey, the ones where you, like... Which I suppose makes sense, because this is kind of... Because, like, this is basically the, it's like blood sports, but EA, not EA, esports. Splitgate? Yes, Splitgate. It makes me think of games like that, like Splitgate, FPO's Unreal Tournament. Like, it makes me think of, like, very fast-paced sort of, like, run, jump, shoot, neon everywhere. NBA, but blood sport, yeah. I know it is supposed to be like NBA, ML MLB, Major League Baseball, and stuff like that. But it mainly makes me think of more so of MLG. It makes me think of esports more so, which is weird because it's in real world, so you'd expect it to be more like, you know, NBA, MLB, all that sort of stuff. But it's just weird. Like it gives me more of a gamer vibe, which is quite interesting. Also, thank you for the follow, Brooke the Skeleton, and hello. Oh, that was really good. Let's see. Actually, if there were night sports, I would join definitely. Well, have I got news for you, Torst? There actually is. It's called HEMA, historic European. Oh, what is it? Yeah, historic European martial arts. It's literally sword fighting and other weapons that were used during the oh, you literally, yeah, you see it, and no, I do not mean I do not mean the no Nemo comments. Okay, yeah, I didn't see that earlier. But yeah, so that, yeah, as far as like night play is concerned, yes, HEMA is pretty much the only one. If you're looking for actual blood sports, yeah, I'm afraid that doesn't really exist anymore, at least not legally. A lot of bruises despite the armor. Oh yeah, god yeah. HEMA is not the same as getting an arena with dubstep. I mean, I imagine you could probably convince someone somewhere to. And if you want to go the full, if you want to go the full Arknights experience, you could basically have it staged and it becomes WWE, but with knights. That would actually be quite fun. We should have it. We should have a nightly WWE. Hmm. I imagine the HEMA lot would be really annoyed at that suggestion, seeing as that basically goes against the whole idea of historically accurate, but we don't talk about it. Create your own anarchist commune, hold daily fights to the death. Wow. Well, guys, we have to create a new sport. I mean, honestly, I'll be down for that. Like, we've got WWE. I mean, we've got wrestling as entertainment as opposed to sports. So why not other sports? Why not have nightly combat, but, you know, entertainment? Have a whole bunch of really good stunt doubles and choreographers and all that sort of stuff. It would definitely sell really well. But anyway, before I draw up plans to become the next sport entertainment industry, let's move on to the next song. We'll do so Operation Wild Scales. Interesting. Well, I think death might be a problem. Well, that's why we do it WWE style, where it's, you know, fake, it's entertainment. Oh, this one. I remember this from the trailers. I'm going to assume either this is in the place... No, this is going to be the place, the South America themed area. The Croc and Sandman. Oh, Sargon. Okay. Come to Brazil. I like the... Oh, I'm not sure what they are. There's some sort of shaker in the background. Sargon is weird because it's part South American jungle and part Arabian desert. Yeah, it's quite interesting. It's like it's blended in... It kind of like it's blended in with... If you had Egypt and like Mayan or Aztec and sort of merged them together, there you go. Sargon is nearly every equatorial... that place. Yeah. It's like Semur and Genshin. Although to be fair, Genshin's jungle area is more like India. You know the funny thing about this is, it does actually make me think of the World Cup. I'm not sure why, I don't... Did they do? Did they have a World Cup in Brazil? Or South America? I can't remember now. It just gives me that... Shakira? Ah, I suppose I can see why, yeah. Although, yes, Shakira's song was Africa, but I suppose because Shakira is Latin. No, it's not. I can remember. Yes, the Brazil lost 7-1. Oh. That was a really nice one. It was a really nice vibe, and yeah, like I did randomly just get like World Cup vibes. It just appeared all of a sudden. Probably to be fair, because most of the time when I do listen to music like that, it probably is from. That's probably the only time I tend to hear it. But yeah, really nice song, and another one that's really easy to just continue listening to. Like this one you could have on loop for an hour while you're trying to figure out how the hell to get through this map. Yes, there are crocodiles living in the desert. That is true. I mean, you see it on you see the crocodiles actually go for zebras, I think, in some of the uh like National Geographic stuff. And of course, yeah, Nile. Yeah. I mean, crocodiles is actually a big thing in ancient Egypt. People will be like, these you don't want to start run. I mean, to be fair, after playing the map and seeing how difficult it is, I struggle to want to start it anyway. The music gives me an excuse. Callback, yes. Anyway, so the next one though is Operation Pine Soot, which is one that was one of the ones in the concert, I believe. Let's go. Yes. Yeah, this one. Oh yeah, this one. Oh, no, not yet. And this was a really good trailer as well. Oh, I love this voice. Oh, I love. Just waiting for it to drop. Oh, there we go. I love the guitar. It just goes in like it means business. Then get the pre-chorus. There it is. And then back into the guitar. There. And the fact it goes from that to then Screamo. Or at least, not necessarily Screamo, but like screaming a bit of it. And a very, like, aggressive guitar. Slows down a bit. And does this take place in Yan or London? Yan. Okay, I did wonder that because as the song was slowing down, you heard a bit of a more Asian influence. Technically in a painting. Oh, okay. Oh, that was really good. Oh, I really like that song. It is one of my. It's Dusk's small painting universe. Okay, I'm not going to question how that happens, but Arknights back rooms. Wow. Oh wait, actually, is this the one where they have those enemies that when you kill they turn into like these little ceramic pots that can't be blocked and they have to like take hits, like 20 or so hits in order to die? Is it not that one? Is that another one? Okay. I was wondering because that one felt very like painted and ink like. So I wondered if that was a similar one. Dusk had painted enemies. Oh, okay then. Okay, interesting. Does does the CC like practice area when they refresh the maps is one of the options from Pinefoot? Well, not Pines, yeah, from Pinefoot. I assume all of the CCs appear in the weekly practice one. Although I could be wrong. But still, definitely one of my favorite songs. And again, I listened to it before in the concerts, and I do really like. I do really like the song. It's one of those that it's a good one, and another one. It's just they're all like really easy to listen to. Like you just go through them so easily. All old CC maps are in practice. Okay, nice. Anyway, yeah. So the next one now is Operation Dawnseeker. Don't know if I listened to this one before or not. It sounds familiar, but that could be from the trailer. Also, thank you for the follow, Death God, and also someone. Unfortunately, I can't pronounce. I can't pronounce the letters. The near light event CC. Oh, okay.
It's been a long night and I can feel your
Oh.
anger. With a city of light just shouting in the shadow.
Oh, I like his voice.
Tomorrow brings
I like the slight
another day of
robotic.
sorrow. But I can feel it anymore.
Yeah, the slight robotic. You can hear a bit of a glitch there.
Fine to stay where we are now.
This one's a night drive vibe. Yes.
But this game
Somewhat. Would it be synth or vaporwave? One of the two. Or a variation thereof.
won't be the same again.
Singing into a band, yeah.
Fires lit and blazing through the darkness.
or is night drive literally just? I could be one of.
Waking up the people in the silence. Just follow me, yeah. Electricity is running through my veins. Our history won't be written in change. Do I lose myself of what I've done? The price
Oh, hello, Wilfred. I love the beat.
but the time has come for light to shine away. The story will be told, we will never be alone.
Yeah, except for imagine driving down the street at night. You know, the lamp posts going by.
Cause we're running out of time, running to the afterlife. But can you feel the pain inside my head?
And it also does give me like old school cyberpunk sort of era sci-fi vibes. And again, I suppose that makes sense because I'm assuming No Light is Poland's place again. I've done that with this song, felt good. Yeah, I imagine it would.
Waking up the people in the silence. Just follow me, yeah.
Oh, that was really nice. Really synthetic and quite glitchy. I love his voice as well. Roy, huh? Which one is Roy? Oh, this. Yeah, full on synthetic there. Oh man, wow. That one just that one just ended. It didn't even give you time to process. It just it's like, "Rip, we're done here. Let's go." Just, look, give me a moment to breathe, man. It felt like it was going to go more. It felt like it was actually going to rise and drop again, and it was like, and okay, we're done now. Let's go. Oh, that was abrupt, but that was a really good song. I do really like that, and I love anything that gives me like feelings of sort of like old school retro sci-fi or cyberpunk or any of those sorts of you know, Neon City vibes. I love those sorts of songs. But anyway, this one now is Operation Deepness. So, let's see what this one is like. Ooh, that looks like a lantern. Is this Siberia?
Hiding in the dark, kept myself in silence for too long.
Irene's lantern or Rene's lantern. It is nice. I remember like I thought of that at the trailer. Yeah, it's Undertide's theme. Oh, okay. Undertide's themed, rather. Oh, it's the egg map. Oh, I hated that one.
Forget about the innocence. I'll show you who I really am.
Oh, wow.
I'm not a part of your game. Stop pouring fuel to my rage. Don't think you're so hard to break. I freed myself from this chain. Now watch me rise.
I love her voice. I keep saying about like every song I know, but still, they just have such good singers.
I've been hiding in the dark quietly, watch it all fall apart, trying to fix all my wrongs, but I don't know where to start. The atmosphere really tempts me, must be something that I can't see. Though I'm not giving it time, I'ma just speak. They say I'm a weirdo, I don't care though, cause I'd rather be on my own, and it's my throne, and it's my home. When it occur to coast, I'm in the zone, yeah. You see that I'm ready, chasing my dreams like I'm riding with Freddy.
Damn, he's going quite good. He's going quite quickly there.
I'm not a part of your game. Stop pouring fuel to my rage. Don't think you're so hard to break. I freed myself from
It's just
now watch me rise and reclaim everything. I'm here to stay.
Oh, and there we go. I like how a lot of these songs have that brief moment of calm and pause where it pulls back the majority of the instruments. And then it starts to increase and it builds up. There it goes. Oh, I like it's gotta be a guitar, right? Yeah, that's a guitar. That's over. Come on. Why must these go so quickly? And then again, just at least there was a little bit of a build down there, and it was still quite abrupt. Just and don't forget the next one. It's like, and we're going to the next one. It's there we go. It's so quick. But yeah, I do really like that one. It also, I may get a bit of pushback for saying this, but it does give me a little bit of a League of Legends, I suppose, vibe. You know, like some of the songs that they make for that game. It kind of reminds me of some of those ones, some of the more popish kind of ones, and a bit more of the rap and all that. But I do really like it. I do really love that one. It's a really nice, really good one. I loved the music. I love the guitar in the background. Both of the singers were really good, and rap. I really like rap where it is like very fast paced, and especially when the bloke started doing his bit, and it was like really really quick in. I really like those ones. It's like it just gets you pumped. It gets you like it's really hyped. I really... Okay, so then anyway, this one, which again abruptly changed over, is Operation Ashring. Oh, okay, this one I recognize the song. Probably. Oh, of course. Moron. This one is familiar. I wonder why. It couldn't be because I spent hours on this. God damn it, I've done that several times in this one stream. Oh, the fucking Londinium artillery. Oh, I hated that. I mean, I was able to get it. I was able to do it well. I got the strategy for it. It's weird, like, I was able to figure out the cannon strategy, but having to time it all was just really... That's the thing, like, if I was able to get the timing right, if I was able to not feel rushing, like I had to rush everything, I probably would have been able to do it quite well. Imagine if London had a cannon IRL. God. I would not trust the current government with it. There's not enough level on the units yet. Yeah, that's pretty much. I did really like this one. I did enjoy listening to this on repeat while doing the CC. Oh, that was nice. The Barocca skin from this event is nice, by the way. Yeah, I'm literally grinding up the points now to get the skin from the current shop. That's such a good song. And hey, an ending that doesn't immediately go into the next one. That's always nice. God, yeah, I honestly this is a CC that I can actually talk about because I did play it. But it was quite an experience, I gotta lie. I gotta lie? I gotta lie? What the hell? Not gonna lie, rather. I was trying to say I gotta say and not gonna lie, and I ended up saying I gotta lie. I don't. Okay, but yeah, like it was quite an experience. It was weird because it was like the canon. It should have made it easier. It really should have for me, and it did. It was just getting the timings right was difficult for what I had, and it reached a point where I did eventually have to do a what's it called? I did eventually look up a guide, and I still couldn't do it. I still couldn't get the timing right just because I could not take into account. It just couldn't. I couldn't quite get it. I was still a little bit too new into trying to get all of the uh things. I still wasn't quite pausing and doing all that just yet. So it was like even with the help, I just couldn't quite get to it, unfortunately. I'm a little bit more optimistic for the next CC though, when 11 comes in for global. How far was the risk? Not very far, I'm afraid. Another dumb thing that I did was I tried to do too much in one go as well. Especially when I did eventually um give in and look at a guide. The guides were like, "Oh, what to do at risk 8 and what to do at risk 18." And it's like, "Huh. I mean, okay, I'll just go straight into that and follow it." And yeah, no, obviously so basically I didn't really get far in the risk because I started doing stupid stuff and tried to do too much in one go. And it was like I always did relatively well, but then the moment it falls apart, the whole thing collapsed, and it was always a fail at the end. It was eh. I just adapt to what I have alongside the guides. Yeah, I tried to do that as well. It was just more so the fact that it would go. It's one of those things where like it goes well until it doesn't. It was just one of those. Like there was no point where it curves off. It just immediately declined it each time I did it, and and it was a point where the moment it does it, it's too far gone, and there was no way of going back without it being a full panic. I don't watch guides for CC. I try not to watch guides at all for any game. I always try to do it myself. I only really do it when I just like really want to do this and I feel like I'm running out of time. I think it didn't help that I was quite busy with work at the time, so I didn't have a lot of time to play the game. I didn't do much grinding. I didn't do much of the CC, but it was a bit of a so that was a bit of a shame. But hey ho, like I said, I'm confident now that I've built up my skills a bit more. I'm quite confident with the next CC when it comes along. But anyway, so speaking of, so this will be the one that'll be coming next in global, and that is Fake Waves.
This ain't for the weak links or the faint of heart. The foes coming up ahead are bound to make a mark. On our faces, they'll be leaving scars. On our graves, here's what they're gonna carve. We'll be walking all over you and be snuffing out your flame. We'll be drowning out your
Oh, I like the rap.
crashing down like tidal waves. Did you think you could scare us? Scare us? We're the ones who bring all the terror, terror. Even if the waves keep crashing down.
Also, thank you for the follow, JD.
With our heads held high, we will turn the tide, shouting never, never, never say go ahead and try to test
I'm seeing a lot of Angry Birds, and I'm somewhat confused as to why.
go ahead and try to best me. We are never going
Although someone did say Dossals and Gator. Okay, so is this summer themed?
to what you got. Don't think for a second that we'll run and hide. Go ahead
Oh, Fiametta is the Angry Bird. I see.
If you think I'm caving, you'd be dead wrong. All this time you were just way too
Apparently, the chorus has a similar beat to Angry Birds. Really?
and you're destined to be tumbling down. I'll be shaving down my list after striking out your names. I'll be tearing up your legacy by conjuring a hurricane. Marks you like a cadenza for the closing act of your era. Even if you still refuse to yield, we will greet you on a battlefield with our heads held high. You will see.
I love its voice as well.
Never say, go ahead and try to test me. We are never backing down, never letting up. Go ahead and try to best me. We are never going down, never giving up. Come on, show me what you got.
I hope you enjoy Beach and Brought Water Rings because these. Oh no, is it doing the wave stuff as well? Oh. Is it doing? Does it have the wave mechanic from the event that we just did?
I've got eyes on the back of my head. So take a hike now.
Thankfully not. Oh, thank God. Okay, I was gonna say.
If you still insist to keep on fighting, be sure to kiss the world goodbye before trying. You don't stand a chance going up against me and my crew, 'cause we never
Only the floaties. Oh, okay.
show me what you got now. Go ahead and try to test me. We are never backing down, never letting up. Go ahead and try to best me. We are never going down, never giving
Oh, I think I know what you mean by the Angry Birds.
me what you got. Don't think for a second that we'll run and hide. Go ahead and try to test me.
Oh. Oh, for God's sake. Oh, that's the one you meant. No, I hear it. I can't unhear it now. No. 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 Oh no. Oh, I was thinking of the other. I was thinking of that other Angry Bird song. I can't remember if it's the original or like the newer one, but I was thinking of that other one, so I couldn't hear it. I couldn't hear it because I was like, no, I don't hear any of the notes. And then I remembered the meme one, like the meme song, and like, oh yeah, it's that one. I forget that that's Angry Birds, and yeah, oh God. I'm not gonna hear it now. Every time I hear that bit of the chorus, I'm gonna be hearing like the higher pitch version on the. Oh no. Okay. Well then, we've gone through all. So we've gone through all of the 10 global. We've gone through the 11th in the Chinese server, and now we have the promotional video for contract 12. So it's going to be a shorter one because it's just a promotional video, but we shall see. So apparently this was released yesterday, so let's go right into it.
What's it gonna take to erase my sins? When I've done nothing wrong, I've done nothing wrong at all.
Thank you for the follow, Ramiro.
But don't be surprised when you see me come alive. When there's nothing in between.
Oh, this is a really nice one. Oh.
I wanna die for a
Oh, that fucking guitar.
The sky will burn so bright.
I'm going to listen to this again, actually. That partly because it's so short, because it's just a preview, but oh my god, that was such a good song. I think that very quickly just became my favorite out of the whole 12. And yeah, it's just my favorite out of that. Wow. Wow, that was really, and that was one of the same, that was the same band as one of the previous ones, wasn't it? I can't remember which one though. Is it Life Awaits? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Pine Soot, there we go. Yeah, I think it was the Pine Soot one. Oh, and C1. Okay. Oh, right. I thought they sounded familiar. Right. Okay, so it was the same band for both. Interesting. And now for this one, I'm gonna listen to it again because as sad as I also need to take in the video, I forgot this is also a promotional video. So, but just, I want to listen to the song again.
What's it gonna take to erase my sins? When I've done nothing wrong, I've done nothing wrong at all. I've said it all before, but don't be surprised when you see me come alive. When there's nothing in between us, I wanna tell for us.
Oh, screaming! It's so good at that. And the guitar just absolutely shredding it. Oh. And that's the medals. Oh no, that's the medals. I love the looking, I love the skin of the outfit. Are those modules or are those going to be the banner? I can't. Oh, that's such a good song. Okay, so you got the risks. I'm assuming those are the risks. You've got these ones. Yep, they're. Oh, records. Oh, law, extra law. I see. Interesting. Okay, you got the outfit. Don't I don't know if I know this character. Or maybe I do, but I just don't recognize them. And then, so new details then, I guess. So you've got for Breeze, which is good. I've got Breeze. Whisslash, Shamir, and Bison. Okay. Have you noticed the sword at the end slashes the screen in two? Does it? Let me see. It does. Oh, that's really cool. I didn't quite notice it last two times because the video and the subscribe stuff pops up at the same time, but yeah, that is really cool. You can't see them until they're E2 to E2 though. I mean, that's fair enough, really. It makes sense. I mean, I imagine it would make sense to either be E2 or um the next like trust level or whatever. So like it makes sense like, you know, the more you do it. Otherwise, you know, you wouldn't have anything to work towards for a character if they just released it and then you would be able to instantly access it. But yeah, that's a really good song. I really like that song. Like that it's not even the full song, and that just immediately became my favorite one out of all of them. Like, oh wow. Ow. I mean, we've still got 11 to come up as well, so this one's not going to come around for a while, isn't it? It's has there been a release date for 11? I kind of need to pay more attention to the global 6 months for 12. That makes sense because, I know it's like I know it's typically what 6 months between each update. Doesn't that also mean it's going to be like 6 months until the Monster Hunter one as well? Hey, 11 should be around 3 months. Okay. Unless CC gets store feed. Oh, please no. I wish for a red blade boss. We are around 6 months behind. Yeah. Wow, there's a lot of there's a lot of the new stuff that I've seen. It's going to be a long time to wait for. Well, I mean, that's fine. That gives me more time to wait for things. I know someone said that Texas might be either late May or early June. That's good. That gives me enough time to save up stuff. Unless I end up blowing it all again, like I did with trying to get Phantom. I didn't get Phantom. I am very sad about that. CN have no breaks in their events, while Global have a few dead weeks here and there. Oh, interesting. We are now 7 months behind. Blimey. But anyway, what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to briefly switch scenes because okay, so we've done the CCs, but there is more. I am going to react to two other things. There's a oh. Don't do that. I said don't do that. I said don't do that. Okay. Anyway, so there's one thing was suggested to me. Fan animations. One of them was requested in the channel. So I was gonna react to that. Widescreen mode. There we go. Oh no. Hopefully this is the right. Might need to go up a bit more. Maybe up a little bit more again. Okay, that looks good. So let me just put that up. YouTube capture. There we are. Enfield was announced super early because there was a long line at the. Oh, I see. That makes sense. I remember that now because in China you have to register with the government, don't you? To is it just games or is it products in general? Whenever you make a new brand or a new line of a product, or is it just games? I can never quite remember, but I do know you do have to go and get approval first. 50 games, really? Only 50 games a year? Wow. But yeah, so this is the CG trailer, and I believe this is the same as the concept trailer. That's mentioned in the other one because it's the same amount of time, 2 minutes 6. So let's see. God, I can't imagine only 50 games when you consider. I mean, obviously, when you think of like AAA, there's not that many that get released in a year. But when you think of like, you know, all games, from like America alone, let alone from like Europe and all that. It's a lot. But still, so let's see. Endfield. I'm really looking forward to this from like the images I've seen.
Welcome back, Administrator. Endfield Guidance System at your service. Access granted. Transmission in progress. Deploying Protocol Anchor Core. ETA 20 seconds.
Okay. Whoa. What is that though?
The industry complex's operation must remain secured.
Oh, that's...
Be advised, the likelihood of hostile threats intensified.
What is this? Oh, that voice. Okay, that was just straight from Annihilation, wasn't it? Talos 2.
It's
Oh,
time to make your choice.
so this isn't Terra. Right. That is curious. That is interesting. But there was a lot of infrastructure there. Like a lot of old infrastructure. So if it's not Terra, yet they seem to be going there now, what is all of that old infrastructure from? Because that looks like it was there longer than these group of people were there for. But interesting. There was something... Okay, this, though. Yeah. That immediately made me think of, I'm not sure if you've seen the movie, but Annihilation, I think is what it's called. That barrier that the squad walk through. It basically reminds me of that. And I think it's the same in the book that the movie's based on as well. That same sort of just weird, like oily water visual. But it's really curious effect. It does make me wonder. It makes me wonder if if it makes me wonder if this is actually somewhat related. Well, obviously not literally, because you know that would be using a different story from a different person. But I mean, if it has a similar visual to that phenomenon in Annihilation, because it's a similar thing, it makes me wonder. It makes me wonder if that is also like a weird sort of barrier or alteration or something. That definitely makes me curious, though. That is also. Did anyone else feel like the woman's voiceover? It sounded a bit like if anyone's played Payday 2, the psycho character who talks with the tape recorder. it sounds like the same woman. I I mean, it's probably just because of the. It may just be because of uh, the effect. I just love. Oh, I think there's one coming up soon. Yeah, look at all this old industry. Oh, that sound.
Welcome to Talos 2.
Yeah, like almost very similar voice. Like that did catch me off guard a little bit. Although I do wonder that now. Someone did mention that that one character looks like Chen. I wonder if there will be characters from Arknights that appear in this. Kind of like how in Honkai Star Rail, there I think Welt will be playable at some point. I can't quite remember. Please pay attention. You will be happy to know you are victims of a robbery. Yes, exactly. Arknights and Payday when. That would honestly be a really interesting cooperation. But that does make me wonder if there will be crossover between the two Arknights games. I mean, I don't know what it's like. I mean, I don't know how long it takes them to get to Talos 2. I don't know how often people go to Talos 2 by the point of Endfield. But does make me wonder. And it makes me wonder, I wonder if Talos 2 has the same Originium problem as Terra does. That would be a curious thing if they also have that issue. So anyway, there was that, so now going into the gameplay demo. Hypergriff is also developing X Asterisk, so I'm debating which will be released first. Oh, interesting. I might actually. Is there a trailer for X Asterisk? 'Cause I might look at that after the fan trailer. There is. Okay, I'll have a look at that then. Yeah, I'm going with Far Future. Interesting. I mean, it does make me wonder because I know Arknights is semi-futuristic thanks to the stone, thanks to the Originium, giving like industrial and energy potential. But it is still very much a almost medieval style. So that leap into space travel, even if it is just going to a nearby moon or a planet or whatever, does seem quite a leap. Arknights is contemporary but alt tech. I suppose I still consider it more medieval-esque just because it feels like culture-wise they haven't shifted too much. Like it feels like the technology has accelerated it so much more so. Like the technology has advanced very quickly, and society is still catching up to it. Science fantasy, yeah, basically. And there definitely was a lot of guns in Enfield. I will say that now. A lot of the characters seem to just be having guns, and I know they have quote unquote guns in Arknights with the Columbia and I can never remember what they're called. Sanctus. They also do guns, but Currently, there's zero evidence of space industry as we know it. No GPS, no global comms, long-range aircraft. Yeah. Laterano, there we go, and Sancta being the race. But yeah, so I know there's guns in that sense. But if this is futuristic, I wonder if they learn better gun versions. And they kind of have to, because if you're going to go into space, you would want some kind of combustion to get off the atmosphere. I I don't think Originium would have the capability to launch out of orbit. Just because if it could, it would have happened by now. They would have done it long before this. Thanks to two guns seems to be a bit of an understatement. Some parts Terra technology is more developed than Earth one. Okay, interesting. It just makes me wonder. I wonder if like they do sort of, it just makes me wonder how they will develop through if this is in the future, which I imagine it would have to be. Something is not right about the Terran sky. Unfortunately, do they actually show the stars in the sky of Terra? Because when I think of all the game, I don't think I've ever actually seen the sky. And or at least not much during the day, yes, but not so much during night or anything. And even in the anime, there's not really much focus of it. It's like a backdrop. You don't really have much of a look up. The one time you see the sky in the anime, it's cloudy because it's about to rain meteorites. Speaking of meteorites, that's another thing. With the amount of debris that's clearly orbiting the planet, because bear in mind, for there to be regular catastrophes, the asteroids, the rocks around the Originium rocks orbiting Earth or orbiting Terra, it has to be like a full belt almost in order to continuously fall like that. And if that's the case, it's going to be close to impossible to launch anything out of orbit because with that amount of rocks in orbit, it would be like when they talk about if the satellites were to get destroyed in our orbit now and creates a cloud of debris that would make it impossible for spaceships to leave. We're in deep. I know. I'm talking about. I am purely speculating here as well. I don't care if there's an answer really. I just like to think about this sort of thing. Like it just makes me wonder because the Originium is coming from the meteorites. It rains down onto Terra and then grows, right? For it to happen regularly enough, it would have to be orbiting the planet. And for it to orbit the planet that much, for it to be regular enough, for it to be such a thing, would be like that theoretical, well, not theoretical, because it is possible, that possibility that we might come across in the future where we get stuck on Earth because of the debris field. Except instead of debris field, it's... I know it's not just meteorites that's the catastrophe, but someone said that it starts with them and then it's them growing afterwards, or them where they land or something that makes it, or it's the Originium dust that's turning into meteorites raining down. Oh, I see. So it's kind of more like acid rain in a sense, or like volcano ash raining down, but obviously a lot thicker, a lot bigger. Although, still, how much force, how much energy has to be in there if it's raining from atmosphere? but still becoming meteorite-like. That's also the case because normally the reason why it's burning, the reason why meteorites and asteroids burn when they fall is because of friction from air resistance. But that has to happen from coming from orbit, like so for it to be coming down as hard as it is, but as weather, that is very brutal. Like it would have to be I mean, I guess it would have to be a chemical reaction with something in the atmosphere to basically be fireballs. So it's not a meteorite, but rather more like a fireball. If small iridium pebbles can power cars, imagine building levels of iridium. Yeah, that is true. But yeah, it'd basically just be raining balls of fire. It's reacting with something in the atmosphere, I guess. Or I suppose actually, because when it was clouding over Chernobyl, it was almost like a thunderstorm. So it could be getting the dust particles in the air could be getting um charged with so it could be getting charged because thunderclouds create charge and that's what happened. That's where lightning and thunder comes from, is that build up of charge getting released. So the iridium, the dust collects, becomes rocks, falls down, but it's getting charged in the clouds, and that's what's activating it to become, I guess, yeah, unstable, as Code mentioned. It becomes more reactive, and that's how it rains down as a fireball, like a meteorite, without actually having to be a meteorite going down from orbit. So it's getting charged, and it's basically just dropping down. Like that's what I can think of. I mean, again, obviously, this is a completely different world, so we can't necessarily use our world realism. But if I were to apply physics of our world into how it could possibly work, that's one thing that I could think of. The way that it builds up in atmosphere, and it doesn't just rain down rocks. It's unstable. It's too much. It's being charged by something, and it's causing it to fall through. That's one thing I can think of. But anyway, that's a lot of theorizing. That's a lot of probably bullshit from my end. Enough bullshit theory to make MatPat feel proud. But so let's stop the rambling. Let's go on to the gameplay demo. But I did sort of go off into a ramble there. Sorry about that. I love this. I love the atmosphere. It's really run down. Okay, there definitely is iridium. You can see it growing out. Yeah, that's got to be iridium. Oh, that's awesome. Chemist theorizing the life cycle of iridium. You know what? I might do that. Oh my god, that oasis looks beautiful. I love the rundown, like... Okay, I need to go through this. So firstly... Wow. Sounds like Apex music. Actually, yeah, it does a bit. It does sound like the music, you know, the dum do 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 do. But anyway, yeah, so... And actually, this map kind of, but that's because it's desert. But anyway, so right, so right off the bat, I could say that yes, Originium. So Originium does seem to be prevalent in Talos 2 as well, which is curious. And that still does make me wonder then, because even if Originium, like even if the meteorites are just from the atmosphere, from buildup of dust, that would still mean that it's not exactly native to Earth, or it's not just from Earth. But then again, if Originium itself is its own element, perhaps a fictional element or a fictional compound, that can be that can be a thing throughout the entire universe of Arknights. In the same way that gold is everywhere in the universe, you can find iron everywhere in the universe. It's just that Originium is also something that you can find everywhere in the universe. Or not necessarily everywhere, but you get the point. Like, it's not just on Earth. Like, that would be my thing. So either Originium doesn't come from Terra or possibly even from Talos, and it's something that landed there, or Originium is just a natural thing in the universe. Which again, like iron, which comes from exploding stars, and that matter will then eventually form other planets and meteorites, and that's how you get gold in those places, and so on and so forth. So it could be it could be a similar thing to like rare earth elements, except because Originium has a tendency to grow, I guess it wouldn't be rare earth elements in the same way that it would be in our world. Because, as much as we have gold from the universe, and it wouldn't be possible without stars collapsing and all that, gold doesn't replicate. But yeah, so Originium would, in this case, would be just another element, in the same way that you can mine copper, in the same way that you can mine other things. Oh, actually, there we go. There is an event recorded in the Originium, the first disaster or something like that, introduced Originium to Terra. Right, okay, so if that's the case, then that means it wasn't native to Terra. In which so it would have to have come to Terra then if there was a first time. And if that's the case, then that means it must have landed on Talos 2 along the way. Assuming Talos 2 is the moon, someone did say that it was a moon or one of the moons or something. And if that's the case, then it would have had to have collided along the way. So it would have probably landed on Terra, but would have split apart beforehand. Probably from gravitational force. It might have got caught between different planets or something and tore apart. So now you've got a cloud of it coming towards Terra. So that would be one thing that I could think of. So if it's not native to Terra, I doubt it's native to Talos unless something hit Talos so hard that it threw out part of the crust. But then that would not be likely because that sort of event would have happened millions of years in the past, and we wouldn't have the first incident because it would already be on Terra. So it would have to be from elsewhere, either elsewhere in the solar system or extrasolar. And I guess it would have had to have fragmented. It would have had to have come in as like a cloud of Originium. and that cloud would have been big enough to hit the other parts of, so both Terra and Talos 2. If there's a Talos 2, I'm assuming there's a Talos 1. I wonder if that's the second moon, because someone said there was 2 moons. If that would make sense, Talos 1, Talos 2, maybe Talos 1 is uninhabitable, or like an actual moon. I don't know. What if Originium is a mineral-based life form that colonizes other other planets? That would be terrifying, but possible. That might also explain why it infects the body. And it could just be that human bodies, or yeah, the people on Terra just aren't compatible enough to live with it, so it kills them instead of takes them over or whatever. I don't know. A moon just means something that orbits a planet instead of a sun. I know. I know that, and I know moons can be habitable. It's just because, you know, we're playing on Talos 2, not Talos 1. So unless Talos 1 becomes a place that you can visit, I imagine there's probably a reason why you're not on Talos 1 instead of Talos 2. That's the reason why. That's the reason why I was assuming that Talos 1 is uninhabitable. But it's definitely interesting, and I will say I love the environment too. I love that there's plants. I like the there's no there's no oil in Talos 2. Right, yes, you're right. Star planet nomenclature names planets based on their primary star followed by the relative closeness. Yes, so 1 would be the closest orbiting, and then 2 would be the second orbit. And yeah, that's right. And stars are labeled A, B, and C, isn't it, for the same solar system? And then it's like A1, A2, or something. I can't quite remember. It gets really confusing after a while, especially once you add multiple stars. But I need to get back into Elite Dangerous because I will immediately remember all this. Anyway, so I want to get into, yes, here we go. Old infrastructure. Yeah, we're Sol free. But here's the thing though, it's old infrastructure. So either Talos 2 has already been colonized by the time you play the game. So the events of the game, Talos has already been settled. Or Talos has been settled once, it failed, they tried again, and this is the second try, which is why everything's been abandoned, because they couldn't stay there, they had to leave. Equipment that's sent ahead, it seems too it seems too haphazard. It seems like abandoned more than, because there's no maintenance. If you send equipment ahead, it still needs to be usable by the time you get there. Things seem rusted and broken. And this here, you wouldn't have things on a landing pad. You wouldn't have that sign. What's that? Dead zone. That's a no-no. Like, this looks really... Maybe Terra is Talos 3 or Talos 1. Unlikely to be Talos 1. If Talos was to be the star, then Talos 1 would be the closest to the star. That would not be in a habitable zone. At best, Talos 2 could be like Venus in terms of where it is. Because Venus could have been Earth-like had it not been for the amount of CO2 in the atmosphere. So I could kind of see, if you were to look at it that way, with Talos 2 being not a moon but a planet, the second orbit of the star, that happens to be in the habitable zone, like Venus, and then Talos 3 being Terra, being the third in the solar system, like Earth. It could be further from the star. It could be. Talos 1 wouldn't, I don't think. I think the first orbit of a star is almost always really close. I can't think of any known exception. Or any known exception. I can't think of any like famous one that isn't. Normally, it's really difficult to get into a habitable zone. So it kind of makes sense. I would sort of see it if Terra were to be like Earth, like a direct mirror, in which case Terra would be the third from the star. And so I can kind of see Talos 2 being the second from the star. So what Venus could have been is basically what I'm saying. Because with Venus, it's the reason it's uninhabitable has nothing to do with being in the habitable zone or not. It's in the habitable zone. It's also the same size. It has a similar atmosphere. It would have had a similar atmosphere. It's just it's too dense. Not every solar system has orbitals that close to the primary. True. I mean, yeah, it is also the case. Although I do think, though, that if we are to go with the model of it being a planet and not a moon, I mean, for it to be Talos 2, yeah, Earth would have Terra would have to be either Talos 1 or Talos 3. Dense with what? I think it's carbon dioxide is what makes the atmosphere of Venus dense. And so it traps the heat in, and it creates a lot of pressure, a lot of atmospheric pressure. It keeps in the volcanic activity, so it keeps in the harmful, the very harmful, like acidic things. So sulfur, you get a lot of sulfur, you get a lot of sulfur dioxide, you get a lot of sulfuric acid in the atmosphere, a lot of things. It gets very hot. You drop a drone in there, you drop a probe, and it gets crushed. Yeah, Venus is hell. But it's not because of the planet's location, it's just how the atmosphere developed. But yeah, so anyway, back to the point I was making. A lot of, and yeah, someone did mention that. Who was it that mentioned it? Yeah, Christmas. There's clearly old tech mixed in with new tech, yeah. Which does make me wonder if they tried first, gave up because it was too difficult or there was some danger, and then they came back in for whatever reason. They decided to try again. The only other alternative, and this would be the trippy alternative, would be if this is the first time people of Terra went to Talos 2, but the infrastructure was still there before them. That's the other alternative. Which I'm not sure if they'll go that direction. It seems somewhat out of character for Hypergriff. But there is always that thing. Like, yeah, either a different society from our own, or maybe history in Arknights is actually a lot more different. Maybe there was another era before the current era, and people just don't know about it because things got too fucked up in Terra. But I don't think it would be that, to be honest. I think that's the least likely. I think this is just stuff that was here before. I think they settled first and then abandoned it and maybe tried again. Because again, like that's a lot of sand. That's buried. It's almost apocalyptic vibes. So I think it's a failed colony. The insects seem like Earth, that scorpion. That is true, actually. There wasn't a lot of difference there. Or Talos 2 was the original planet and they migrate to Terra. I mean, isn't it known that there was an ancient city on Terra? I'm not sure. But that's kind of the thing. That's kind of the thing I'm wondering if the other alternative would be that there is just an ancient that Terra did go to Talos in the past, but just not in the way that I was originally saying. Maybe they did in a different era, but I think it's a bit different. It's a bit weird though, because I can sort of see it, but this seems too recent for the 1,000 or so years. I mean, okay, I know 1,000 years is like the current sort of thing, so I don't know what was before the 1,000. I mean, I don't know what was before year 0. I don't know if there's like a BC history of Terra. But even still, if it had to have been before 1,000 years, this still isn't 1,000 years. This is still that's all of this would have been gone by then. It would have been completely degraded. Metals don't really last that long. I mean, it can do, but now that's new. That's not new. That's like a temporary hub. That is broken panels from something that's not. And that's quite interesting. I think the most likely outcome. I think the most likely thing is that this is in the future. They've already tried to um to colonize once and failed, and now they're trying again. And yes, it does say Enfield on the thing, but I think that is separate. That's like a tent. So I think that's a temporary station that's been put up. So I suggest Enfield is a civilization before Arknights. That would honestly be interesting. Again, I don't know if they'll go in that direction, and I personally think they probably won't go in that direction. It's just interesting, the older infrastructure, and there was another one. Again, old enough that you've got grass growing. And then that is completely oxidized or rusted over or whatever it is, depending on the metal. So I think whatever this is has been around for quite a while. I'm thinking Enfield is a company. To be honest, I'm more in line to agree. I do think Enfield is more so either a company or the project name. It could be the name for the colonization efforts or the settlement efforts or whatever it is that they're doing. So I'm thinking it's one of those two. It would be interesting to see if Enfield already exists in Arknights. If this is the future, but maybe they have sort of like a beginnings in the current lore, that would be interesting. Okay, but there was one last thing that I needed to look at in terms of Enfield. I need to find it though. Reaction requests. It is this one, Project Enfield. Okay, this is the fan trailer. Gonna put this in. Alright, so this is the fan trailer for it, and only a month ago. Okay, so it's quite recent. But first, let me just read what Speedy put in. PFDR responsibilities include recovering lost techno protocols, exploring old era ruins. Interesting. Reverse engineering salvaged technology. Okay, so that is definitely something from before. Several years ago, an unexpected conflict destroyed the headquarters. Numerous personnel as well as department. Interesting. So from a previous era. So I think that does actually lead more towards the idea of a previous civilization. And maybe those enemies that we saw, those random flying things that then connected into a big thing, maybe those destroyed the previous era, and then we go there, we see what it's like, they kick our ass, and now we have to help, we have to like sort that out. Maybe we found out what they fucked around and far off. Fucked around and far off, fucked around and found out. Anyway, let's see this one. So again, this is fan made, and apparently it has Stellaris Faster Than Light. Okay, so it's music. It's Stellaris music, so it shouldn't be copyrighted. Oh, it's been a long time since I've heard this song. Nice work. Please take care of yourself. Okay. God, it's been so long since I've heard this song. I need to play Stellaris again. Don't know if y'all be interested in a stream of that at some point.
As all other stories did, ours began in times of disaster and conflict. Catastrophes laid waste to the lands. Oripathy turned people against themselves. One after another, Terran countries were engulfed in war. Life on the lands became solitary, poor, brutish, and short. But there were the ones who would not give up on the prospect of a united Terra. They went from country to
Love
country,
the art style.
saving lives along the way. Many say that without them, our Terra would remain forever.
The voice sounds really
fragmented.
familiar.
They were called Rhodes Island.
Is it still around then? This Rhodes Island?
Well, if you truly wish to know, you can try to find out for yourself.
God, why is... He sounds so familiar. Oh, I love the song though. Wait. The little Lego shuttle. Wait. really cool. Oh, that's her? Okay.
For thousands of years, we Terrans have been referring to our home planet as the Lands. Many say that the phrase was a proof of our ignorance. I say that it was a proof of our arrogance.
That
We
reminds
have
me of
had great
Interstellar.
discoveries, ones that could have altered the course of human history. But instead of prosperity and progress, these discoveries led only to ambition and greed. Our quest will be futile if it is merely geographical, but not social and political as well. It is only when we set our sights higher that we can set aside our prejudices and biases and stand together as one. Some say that we have gone far enough, that we should stay where we are, to rest and to wait. But we haven't really climbed the Tower of Babel. We're only just standing atop its ruins. Today, not even ashes remain of the civilization of our ancestors. If we are to inherit their legacy, we must also understand the reason for their doom. That is why our enterprise is called Project Endfield. It will be the last step for humanity in the old era, and the first in the new. And therefore, as we set sail, we ask every one of you to witness the most hazardous and dangerous and greatest adventure that humanity...
Oh, there it goes. Whoa, whoa. That's not good. Oh dear, okay.
Weaned from glittering fantasies of the stars, a child walks into a graveyard and sees there a white stone forest of breathtaking beauty. We will want flowers to cover graves, not for remembrance, but for embellishment. And graves remind us we ourselves are flowers, fleeting things that nothing saves.
Well, just in typical Arknights fashion, this went a lot deeper than than it had any right to. There. Wow. God. This could very much describe Earth as... Honestly, yeah. I would not surprise me if that's kind of the idea they had when making this. God, that is a really... And why did this feel so official? It is professionally done. It's more animatic than animation. There's quite a decent amount of animation as well, but it's like it is done so well. The voice acting is really good as well, and I feel like I also wonder if there was a particularly big budget for this, because I do feel like that one voice actor, the one for the old man, I recognize that voice. I think he's done voice acting for games before. Maybe in the indie scene. I'm not entirely sure, but this is honestly an amazing... that was... And this amazing choice for the song as well. Faster Than Light is... For those of you who don't know, Faster Than Light is a song that's used in the game Stellaris. It's actually not used... This version with the lyrics isn't actually used in Stellaris. The instrumental one is used in the game. But if you play City Skyline, you can listen to this song with the lyrics. It's kind of weird. Like the actual full version of the song isn't in the main game, but it's in another game. It's weird, but really good, really good choice of music as well. Like it really because that's about the exploration, about the pushing forward into better future and all that, and it so fits as just seeing this sort of timeline. And I'm assuming this goes into that idea as well. Like you saw the person who was I can't find him. I'm wondering if that's someone who's been cured. I'm guessing because that's quite a big thing if they're in hospital and there's all the news. But I'll tell you what, though, a part of this has brought back my rage at the fact that we gave up Faith Race. This again just makes me think of like, well, I mean, we could have done this. We could have done this easily. We could have, we could have very easily, like it. If we had actually kept on going to space, kept on doing all of that, we would very easily be at the moon by now. Like it's annoying me. It annoys me. And seeing this with our technology, but doing this, it's annoying me. Yeah, I mean, I will agree with that, Cactus. Like, yes, on one hand, I'm glad that the actual fear of destruction is no longer a thing, but it's just the fact that we just, oh yeah, we're no longer trying to one up another country, so let's just not bother anymore. That's the thing that annoys me. It's the fact that we could have just kept on doing it anyway. Like, there's good reason to. Like, even if you want to look at it purely from a cold analytical perspective, the amount of resources would fuel Earth for thousands of years. Like, that alone is enough of a reason to go. But it's just, and I agree with the yeah, exactly, Free Melons, and I agree with the the quote, the speech that man gave. It is going to space and actually like full on doing it is definitely a new era. It is the space age. It's at that point nothing is the same anymore. We we set one group of people on the moon and we're just like, yeah, good enough. Literally. I mean, I'm really glad that the Artemis mission is happening now. I'm really glad that they're doing that. I'm really glad they're actually planning to also send people to stay eventually. Obviously not for decades, but still. I just wish it had continued so that I would have been able to have gone to space in my lifetime. That's the thing that annoys me the most. It's the fact that by the time I'm gone, then things will start going into space. It's just it's annoying. A moon base was actually in the works, but then USSR collapsed. Yeah, that's it. That's the thing. It's just like there was no longer the competition. That's what it was. Now we just do AI VTubers. I'm telling you, man, Skynet is stealing my job. But anyway, yeah. So someone did say Reds versus Surtr, and I will watch that one, assuming it's on YouTube. If it's not, then I'll do that later. Uh oh, is this the same? Okay, right. So is it called Heat? So, Surtr versus Red Avenger in Nian's movie. Looks like it. Let me see how much time I've got. Okay, I'm probably, though... This will probably be the last one just because of time. This has turned into quite a long reaction stream because of all the talking, all of the theorizing. Let's see. Oh. Oh, that's Red Avenger. Oh, it's this guy that everyone simps for in the Discord. This is gonna get me copyright claims, but oh well. Oh. Oh. This is insane. Just whack it all the way. Oh. Oh yeah, okay, that's the thing. Ooh. Oh. What is that? No, that it. Oh. Oh my god, that was fucking amazing. Okay, yeah, definitely pausing there because that's I'm fairly certain that's Disney music. Wow. What the I mean, just look at this bit when they go into the fight. There. It's just come on, let's show it. This bit here. It's so smooth. That is such a smooth animation. Like it's like wow. I mean, I'm not. It was almost as smooth as actually having it choreographed. You know, in person, live action. It was that smooth. There was no deforming of the arms, no harsher movements to block it. I mean, then you see that bit there. So there's the quick stab, but it's like, oh, And then the kick there. And the camera angle, the camera movement is really smooth as well. The way that it pulls around, it follows into the very dynamic moves that they do. Like if a character leaps into sort of like a side and then swing in to like in like an almost circular pattern, the camera follows it, and it's really good. And it's a really big sense of power as well. Like, the good sound design as well. It makes it's a very beefy hit. It's a very beefy hit sound that they used, and that makes it sound like there's a lot of oomph to each hit. That is, I love that. I think I know which one you mean, Cactus, with the Stickman fight. There is one that is really good. It reminds me of fight scenes I watched in Black Clover. Oh, interesting. I still need to watch. I watched a bit of Black Clover, but only like the first few episodes. I think I reached to a point where they were going to do some sort of testing arena or something. There's like in the first season or whatever, but I haven't gone any further than that. But that was really good animation. And it does just feel like each hit had an oomph to it. It felt like there was weight to it. The way they swing, the way they move, it feels like there's weight to the weapons they're using. The sound when it hits. Also the way that it moves in with the beat as well. Like a lot of the punches did align with the actual beat of the fast-paced drumming. And there is just a lot of, and then it just goes into the absurd. It becomes full-on anime-esque fighting where just, oh, there we go, half of Tokyo's been destroyed. You know, like that, those kinds of fights that you see. And now suddenly, yeah, the entire area is leveled. But oh, that was really good. Oh, wow. I can't get over those last two animations. Those last two, the Enfield fan made, and then this one. My God, those were amazing. I'm definitely gonna have to. Wait, did he cut the screen again? There we on. Yeah, of course. Massive bill for Rhodes Island in 3 minutes. Yeah. God. I'm somewhat tempted to react to some more of the fan made trailers at some point. Not trailers, the fan made videos and that. I mean, this channel alone that did both of the videos that, well, I don't know if they did or if they just re-uploaded it, but it seems like they do. They've got 28, so could actually do the stream of that at some point. I'll have to look through that, but wow, that was really good. I definitely need to look into those a bit more. And yes, you do keep mentioning it, and I do agree. Harlequin Wheels is definitely one I need to react to as well. I've seen a couple of them because people have posted them in the Discord, and I thought they were quite funny. So I definitely want to react to more of those as well. Was it? If it's YouTube, it's most likely re-upload. Yeah, true. I just wasn't sure if it was consistently re-uploaded from the same person or group of people, or if they were just re-uploaded from anyone. That's the thing. Yeah, we were doing the contingency contracts lobbies, and then I watched one of the fan animations, and for uh I always forget Rhine Labs, and then I watched Enfield, which then brought us onto this one. So that's kind of where it was. It's been a bit of a thing. What I might do later on is I might split this VOD up to have one half VOD for these uh one half of the VOD would be the CC, and then I'll have a separate VOD for Enfield and that, just to keep it separate and so people can come in and watch from whatever. Extinction, yep, Extinction. I think I will react to at some point. I'm definitely going to end it here now though, because nearly 3 hours. That was a lot longer than I intended, but oh, so worth it. That was a really good. Honestly, those were some really good videos in the towards the end. But yeah, so thank you so much for coming around and sticking this long. 1 second while I do my usual thing, which I should always do this sooner, but I never do. Dorothy event playthrough. I might do that on the Saturday alongside Partial Necrosis. So when I finish Partial Necrosis, I might go and do some of the event. We'll see. We'll see. Or I might do it as a separate stream. It depends on how I feel. But in the meantime, if if you haven't joined my Discord and you want to keep up with my shenanigans and what I do and when I plan on doing stuff, I highly recommend joining my Discord, which I've linked in the chat. And also, I have a Twitter, which I basically just shitpost half the time, but it's also a good one to follow if you want to keep up with whenever I plan on doing things, because I always post on there. But until next time, though, thank you everyone so much for sticking around and watching me react to this stuff. And I will be back not tomorrow, I'll be back on the Saturday for more of Partial Necrosis. I think I'll be able to get a good chunk of it done. Probably not the full amount, but I definitely think I'll be getting close to finishing that chapter. So definitely looking forward to it. But until then, I shall see you all later. Bye bye.